Hi, everyone. I'm Leslyn Keith with Lipedema Simplified and the Lipedema Project, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Catherine Seo. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Leslyn. Hi, everybody.
We're here for our regular check-in every Friday, talking about what's new and coming up with lipedema. There's always something exciting. We always have some interesting contact with somebody. We've seen an interesting webinar. We've given an interesting webinar, got a great phone call. Catherine and I just had a great collaboration working with some therapists in Pennsylvania who want to really have a superb program for lipedema going. So there's always something good coming up. So this time we really wanted to talk about our conference that is coming up virtually, October 22, 23, and 24. We got the information right there on how to register. And of course, it's jam-packed with fantastic speakers. But one thing that I wanted to highlight today is that our sponsors, because it wouldn't be possible if we didn't have sponsors. And we do have several sponsors that have just been there for us every time. And we have a new sponsor who's joining us this time. So I just want to talk about some of who those people are, and you'll be able to find out more information about them. One is CZ Zalis. It is a compression garment company, and they are out of Italy. And they usually do some giveaways at the conference. And so they will be there as usual. They've been with us every time. Also, a returning sponsor is Keto Chow. And Catherine uses Keto Chow herself. And we've done a lot of work with Keto Chow. And they provide a keto meal supplement or replacement. Have a really neat product. Also has joined us each time is Close Training. And this is a lymphedema certification course provided by Gunter Close and his company, Close Training. And I'm actually an instructor for that as well. So I have a couple of connections with Close Training. And so I really thank them for always supporting us. Also returning again is LymphaPress. And this is a company that makes pneumatic compression pumps that is used for both lymphedema and lipedema. And so they have stepped up to the plate again and are sponsoring us at this next event. And then I wanted to highlight our new sponsor because we are so happy to have them join us, and that is Wear Ease. And Wear Ease is a small company out of, they're just near Boise, Idaho, and they do compression garments, but they really focus on trunk compression garments. And so you're not going to see those as much, but that's really been their focus, is doing compression for the trunk. And my favorite thing is the owner of the company. She's also a Keith, just like me. And so we always say that we're cousins. And so Phyllis Keith is the owner of Wear Ease, and I've worked with her for many years as a lymphedema therapist. So we're so happy to have Wear Ease and Phyllis join us on this October symposium.
That was perfect, Leslyn. A really good overview of our sponsors. Really wonderful. And something I would like to mention is two things, because I'm always so happy to tell you how wonderful my colleague Leslyn is. My colleague Leslyn over there. No, over there. Over there. Over there.
Good job.
Anyway, is that her new book is called The Lymphatic Code. And it's due to come out in a few weeks, but we're going to have early promotion. And if you're in the tribe, there'll be a special coming out. You'll get that over the weekend or the beginning of next week. But Leslyn's first book, The Ketogenic Solution for Lymphatic Disorders, was really focused to help clinicians to understand the lymphatic system in the presence of lipedema and and what was going on and how a ketogenic way of eating could really help. Her second book is more for patients, for us. It's easy to read, it's accessible, it has amazing information. Listen, I'm going to ask you if you would talk just a little bit about the book, because I'm a big fan, as you know, and I think it's something that's so fabulous for us to have as a community.
Well, thanks, Catherine. So my second book, it's interesting. When I finished the first book, The Ketogenic Solution for Lymphatic Disorders, my editor said, I think you have another book in you. And I said, oh my gosh, I think I'm done. But she was right. As soon as you settle down and relax a little bit after finishing writing the first, and really it was what Catherine said, that I really wrote the first book really for the clinician who wanted to introduce nutrition into their practice to benefit their patients with lymphedema and lipedema. It's, as it came out, the book was mostly bought by patients. And I thought, wow, it really seems like I need something that really is just for the person who has a lymphatic or fat disorder. But then what I also discovered is that a ketogenic way of eating is not just good for treating something, it's just good for health in general. And it specifically is good for a healthy lymphatic system. So in the second book, it's really for the layperson, but it also is talking about how to have a healthy lymphatic system by using a ketogenic diet. And I really explain how to do that in this book. And the reason I called it the lymphatic code is because I kind of it's a detective story, and I really use Sherlock Holmes as my little mascot, and navigating through the lymphatic system as a detective, and figuring out what's going on and how it's going to best benefit you, what kind of lifestyle, what kind of things are going to make your lymphatic system work better, thus have a healthier, happier life. So that's the lymphatic code. And that, as Catherine said, will be officially coming out at the end of September, just before our conference.
And it's really interesting, the whole notion of using Sherlock Holmes as a detective. Mm-hmm. When I was talking to Dr. Carmody, as many of you know, Dr. Carmody was my primary care, and now he works with us and is really amazing. And when we were talking about the role of a primary care physician or a general practitioner, it's that of a detective. What they have to do is they have to take all these sometimes seemingly unrelated symptoms and put them all together so that they know what's going on and where to send someone. Mm-hmm. So I always thought that was really interesting. And so I often joke and say he's like Sherlock Holmes. And who is Sherlock Holmes' buddy?
Watson.
Yeah. We did Sherlock Holmes and Watson. That's it.
Yeah. But it really, this is what I talk about to the therapists that I'm training them to treat lipedema and lymphedema, is that at that initial evaluation, when you're first meeting that person, you're trying to put together the clues, and that you, as a lymphedema therapist, someone who knows the lymphatic system, you may be the first person that actually puts this together, because unfortunately, the lymphatic system, like lipedema, is not very well known. And most physicians, most healthcare providers don't know anything about it. And so you, as a trained lymphatic professional, are going to be able to put these clues together that actually have some meaning for your patient and are going to be of a benefit to that patient, because you know this stuff that most people don't. But now, hopefully, if you get my book, The Lymphatic Code, you can become an expert in your own lymphatic system and can lead a healthier life.
Absolutely. And one of the things about all of this is, originally, when we were looking for a name for our entity, which is Lipedema Simplified, that was the notion that we had, that everything needed to be simplified so it would be easily accessible to all of us. And that's what Leslyn did. She really did take some very complex information based on clinical understanding and make it easy for us to get.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed writing it, and I'm very pleased with how it came out. So I hope everybody gets a benefit to it.
And I have to tell you, about 2 months ago, when Leslie was editing it and working with her editor, we had a meeting one day, and she said to me, "I wrote a really good book." And I'm like, "Yes, you did. You really, really did," which is great. So the other thing that we want to say in terms of what's coming up with lipedema is that we've gotten such positive feedback from you guys about our 10 to 15 minute little thing that we're doing right now, what's new and coming up with lipedema. Such positive feedback. It's shocking how many of you actually listen to this. We started this as a lark, like just because we wanted to reach out and tell people. Well, so many people listen to it. We are now putting in place more Facebook Lives on an ongoing basis, and I'm going to send out a schedule, and we'll schedule it. So we're going to have some of our speakers on. We're also going to have some where I might do one alone. I'm going to be working very hard over the next several months on the Befriending Your Body project. We're actually putting together an entire project around it that will culminate in a photo shoot with 2 of the top photographers in the country, which is remarkable. It's sort of like a bit of a miracle. So I want to do one on that, and Leslie's going to do one on the lymphatic code, but I'll probably hang out with her while she does it, so I can ask her all kinds of questions, and I can say things that she won't say about how good it is. She's so humble. But anyway, that's why it's good to have a buddy. So anyway, and we're going to be having some of our speakers from all over the world who are going to be on with us at the symposium on these Facebook Lives, sort of as a teaser. Like, here's who's coming. Make sure you come in and hear more, because it's going to be so fabulous.
Yes.
So that's coming up. Let's see, what else, Listen? What are we forgetting to tell people this week?
There's just always so much going on. And we have so much fun and really learn a lot from our different communities that we have, our membership community, the tribe, our community of women that are in our various Facebook groups. I just was spending some time this morning, answering several questions on the Facebook groups, people asking about compression, people asking about different things that have to do with diet, and everybody contributes. Everybody's an expert in your own body, and you have stuff to share. So join us. Come be in these various groups that we have and contribute and learn. We'd love to connect with you.
And I want to close today with sharing. I'm going to briefly share a miracle that happened really as part of this community. But one of our ladies had an accident some weeks ago, and she broke part of her foot, which was pretty not great anyway, but it resulted in what's called a DVT, or a blood clot, that ended in a pulmonary embolism. And it looked like she wasn't going to make it. The ambulance came, they had to resuscitate her. She was in the ICU in a coma for 14 days. At about day 3 or 4 or 5, they said, they did a CAT scan, and they said she had very little brain activity, that she should be removed from life support. And we were devastated. I spent days and days sobbing. Bless her husband, who said, let's get another opinion. So another neurologist came in and said, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's wait at least a few more days. They did another CAT scan, yada, yada, yada. You know how the medical system is. Anyway, she woke up this weekend. She opened her eyes. It took them a couple of days to get her off the life support so she could breathe on her own. And today we were talking with her. We have a movement and fitness group that we do Miranda Esmond White videos together, and she's part of that group. And so all of us were talking with her. Now her voice is still very hoarse, very raspy, because she's still healing from having had tubes down her throat for 14 days. But it's a sheer miracle because everybody thought she was gone. Even, I mean, the doctors came in and they just can't believe she's still alive.
Yeah.
So, and what she said is it's the power of community. It's like the community held her so tightly and so closely that she came back. She said she's going to tell us the story. Now that's a webinar you don't want to miss.
That's right.
Really.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think that's all of our what's new and coming up with lipedema for today. Our next Facebook Live is going to be on August 26th, which is a Thursday. That's next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. West Coast time. And figure it out from wherever you are.
For all the other times. That's right.
For all the other times.
So we'll see you all then.
Sounds wonderful. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
If you find this valuable, be sure to leave a comment for us, because the reason we're doing more is because people told us they liked it. We'll do whatever you like. All right. Thank you all.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.